Oklahoma and Texas are now in the SEC, so it's 16 teams. And we can start talking about our alma mater in Mississippi State. Have you had a chance to watch them any this season?
I have not. I am going to take my team when they play Ole Miss on January 19th. So that's gonna be fun. Um, that's that bad. I haven't watched them. Is that bad?
So you're busy. You're coaching. Y'all have games like every other day, so that's
True.
understandable. I've watched them a little bit. I'm happy that they have Victoria Vivian on the staff now, helping
Yeah.
out, helping to like rebuild the team and that culture because they had a lot of players to transfer out. Um, so I think they only have one loss, and that's to Georgia Tech, which is undefeated.
Hey.
Not legit, a sleeper
Yeah.
team
They
in the
real
ACC.
legit.
Legit,
Yeah.
okay.
And they
So
have been beating ranked opponents.
yes,
And shout out to my former teammate, high school teammate, Boogie, Lysandra Barrett, that I mentioned earlier, played at LSU and went to the league. She's on staff at Georgia Tech. Man,
is
she got
she?
two girls.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
You
know.
remember Blanche? You remember Blanche Alverson that played at Auburn?
Uh huh. Uh huh.
She's on staff too over there.
Oh, so Nell,
And
because
Nell,
Nell Fortney
yeah.
is the head coach, so she got okay.
Yeah.
Ooh,
They got that thing rolling, man.
they
They scary.
rolling,
They beat
scary.
I want to say
North
Nebraska or
Carolina.
something.
They just beat Nebraska, and they before that they beat North Carolina in the ACC season opener.
Yeah.
And I
They
mean,
beat
they
somebody else
dominated
too.
them.
They beat a few people, but anyway, we were supposed to be talking about the SC, my
Yeah,
bad.
but yeah, we can shout them out. So I'm saying that's their only loss.
Yeah.
But I've watched them. They look pretty good. I think they got, of course, like I said, they had a lot of players to leave, and they got a transfer in. I think she was like a star player at Kentucky. I can't remember her name, but she's a guard. She's nice, and they still
Mississippi State.
have Jordan. Yeah, she came from Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken, and she's now with MSU.
Yeah.
And they
I did
still.
notice that they got the Shields sister, Diamond the Shields sister,
Oh, they do.
Denham the Shields. She was at UAB um prior to coming to Mississippi State. So I think that's pretty cool. I don't know how great of a player she is,
Mm-hmm.
but just a little star power. Might have the opportunity for Diamond to come to a few practices or something and maybe just
Mm-hmm.
help out. You just never know those connections.
Cool. But we go back to players that transferred. Miracle Shepherd is a player that was at State, and she's now at LSU. And she was a freshman last year, so now she's a sophomore, and she played as a freshman at State. So I don't know why she left.
Hmm.
But I feel like State they're still rebuilding, but they'll probably make some noise in the SEC this season. So I'm looking forward to watching them.
It's funny that we say rebuilding, but Sam Purcell. What is this? His second year or third year? What is this?
Probably the
Second.
third.
But you remember
Was
his
last year his
first
first year?
year, he had 20 wins.
Mm-hmm. They
Which was
beat
great.
they upset LSU. Was it last
I
year?
remember that.
Last year.
And so we say rebuild. We say rebuild because of the pedigree that it had gotten to when Coach Schaefer was there
Mm-hmm.
with the national finalist games appearances back to
Mm-hmm.
back, deep tournament runs. Um, so it's funny to say somebody that's won 20 games is rebuilding, but it's
Mm-hmm.
the truth because there's now a standard, um, for Mississippi State women's basketball. So
Mm-hmm.
kudos to what he's trying to do because he's had some turnover even on the staff side of things.
Mm-hmm.
He got a whole new staff this past summer, just like Ole Miss. I'm like, dang, are they letting people go or are they just giving people opportunities to grow elsewhere? So
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about rebuilding, you got a new staff, you got a new team, but you still have some pillars. So you got like Debris Chapeau, who has been there since her freshman year. She was one of the recruits under Coach Nikki, but was able to
Yeah.
go on and stay. And then I think that we forget that Sam Purcell is like one of the leading recruiters in the nation, even in his time at Louisville. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's a lot of girls on this roster that even I'm looking at now that I have no idea who they are. But you mentioned Jerkayla Jordan. She was one that I was glad
Yes.
once she transferred that she stayed with the
Mm-hmm.
program. So you talk about pillars, you've got people like herself. You've got Debrisha Poe, and then I see a hometown kid on here that should be a freshman this year, Anasha Carrier. She played at Biloxi, played against her when I was at Brandon. Uh, so she's gonna be a really good player too. She really just sticks with it. So I'm excited about the future though at Mississippi
Mhm.
State for real. It's gonna be good.
No, yeah, for sure. And I meant rebuild as far as having a new team pretty much because
Oh
we got
yeah,
a lot of transfers. So
yeah.
that's what I was saying. But yeah. Um okay, Texas. Have you had a chance to watch Texas?
Not for real because
Okay. It's
I like
all
to see
good.
marquee matchups.
I got
And
you.
sometimes we're playing when they're playing. So, I didn't get a chance to see. Like, I'm looking at their schedule right now, and I just want to see who they've played that's been like, oh, okay.
Notre Dame.
Um,
Notre Dame. That's it.
and they lost to Notre Dame, I want to say,
They
right?
did. They did.
Well, they beat West Virginia, who maybe was ranked at that time. Yeah, they were number 12. They beat them. Then they lost, turned around and lost to Notre Dame by 10. Other than that, I don't really see a whole bunch of strength of schedule on here.
Yeah, they about to start treating that thing like football. Look, we gonna schedule some cupcakes because we got a tough conference. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, oh,
Um,
you know what? That's interesting. I didn't think about that. Or sometimes you have situations where people don't want to play you.
that could be true.
So that's kind of hard to schedule games when people kind of scared to play you.
That's true. But we know Texas is still a good team. They have Madison
Absolutely.
Booker, who you've been able to watch
Mississippi.
firsthand from Mississippi.
Yeah,
All American first team, great sophomore. Rory Harmon is back from injury.
that's
Their point
good. That,
guard.
that helps them a lot.
Yeah,
Imagine if she never went down, man.
yeah.
They'd have made Final Four for sure, for sure.
Because who did they lose to in that Elite Eight game? NC State, was it? Last year, I want to say it was NC State, but NC State was on a tear. So, um, and then they had Gaston last year for jumping out the gym. She's now at Auburn. She transferred and she's now at Auburn. Nice player, but I expect
That's
Texas.
funny
Yeah, yeah. But I expect Texas to be at the top of the SEC.
for sure.
Um,
That's gonna be
so yeah.
tough. Give me your
So
top four. Give me your top four SEC this year.
this year, South Carolina, LSU, Texas, and then Tennessee. Who's your four?
South Carolina for sure. I'll give Texas for sure because they one thing about Coach Schaefer, man, he knows how to win. I will give
Mm-hmm.
him that.
Yeah, I'll give them that.
I guess I'll go with LSU.
You guess, girl.
I mean, I'm just thinking.
Okay, because
I'm
that they
thinking.
consistency they do tend to,
I mean, they
you
find a
know,
way.
they
They get
find
it
a
done
way,
too,
but
though.
they can play down to the level of their competition at times. I've seen that in non-conference play. You know, a game they're supposed to win, it ends up being a close game.
I don't know if I can put Tennessee in that top four yet, just because it's a new team, it's a new
Why you
coach.
hating on Tennessee? Who
I'm
would you
not
put?
hating, man. I
Who
love
would you?
Tennessee. I grew up watching them.
Yeah, Candace Parker.
I
Who
don't know. I have to say it might be Oklahoma. They already number 10.
I watched Oklahoma play. I'm not impressed.
How many times you seen them play though?
I just watched them. Who were they playing? I'm looking at them. I just
They
the
don't
big
pass
we
eye
know,
test.
yeah, the Big 12. They coming from the Big 12. That's not the SEC. So
Well, they beat Michigan. That was ranked. They beat Louisville. That was also ranked.
that both of those teams they're not the same teams they were at the beginning of the season. They've kind of fallen off.
Okay, they lost to Duke by 10. But the rest of these,
So you
yeah.
gonna give a new school top four? You gonna
I
disrespect the
don't.
SEC like that?
Well, I could say Tennessee is a new school just because of the newness of
Ah,
new coach, new team, new identity. Like I just can't give it away like that just yet.
okay, so you going Oklahoma?
Maybe, maybe, maybe.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's get to Auburn because I do have Auburn in the middle of the pack because we could
Yeah,
easily have 8 to 10 teams to make the tournament from the SEC.
sure.
I like what Coach Johnny and Van and Katera have put together because they're former MSU players who are now on that staff. I like the team they put together. I mentioned Gaston, who transferred from Texas, has been playing well for them. Sh- she's one of the least talked about players in that freshman class. Well, she's a sophomore now. Transferred from Arkansas. Um, look my girl up.
Okay.
Look my girl up. I can't believe
Drawing a blank.
I'm drawing a blank.
It's not um
Talia Scott.
Savannah Scott.
No.
Savannah
Talia
Scott.
Scott. Talia Scott.
Oh, Talia Scott. Okay, I see
Yes,
it.
yes. She put up great numbers at Arkansas. Of course, they just didn't get much coverage. And I think her first game playing with Auburn, she made 8 threes, tied a school record.
What?
Could have broken the record, but she didn't play like the last few minutes of the game. I was like, did they realize that? I would have left her in so she could break the record. But a nice guard, a nice addition, and they just have a gritty team that plays hard. They play defense. I feel like Coach Johnny is gonna make some noise this year in the SEC.
I think so too. I've been proud and encouraged by the growth that I've seen in that program. It makes me think about my own program, just as far as the possibilities when you put your head down and till and you work. She has the recipe, she has the blueprint, being with Coach Schaefer all those years and forming an identity behind defense and then just ultimately recruiting kids that can play. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? I think it helps when you have a youthful staff like you got like you mentioned Van and Katera over there, and there's another young lady on staff over there that played it. What's your
D.
teammate's sister?
Who?
It was two sisters. They played
Oh,
in
you
the
talking
system.
about Nicole, but Tracy Tanner, Nicole Tanner. Yeah.
Yeah, the Tanner girl is over there on staff too.
Yes.
So you got some
And did
people that can recruit.
Coach D
There's
too.
another.
Coach D that was
Yeah, I
at
was about to
Kansas.
say I
Yeah.
couldn't think of her name, Coach D. That was at A&M with Coach Aqua and them.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, she's Coach Johnny got the
Fantastic.
right pieces. She's got the vision. I think she's got an athletic administration that will support her. Because the AD over there now is the guy that was at Mississippi State. He was the baseball coach, and then he got promoted to AD after Scott left for Florida.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Yeah,
Oh, he's
I'm
over at
drawing.
Auburn now?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So, um, so I think she's in a good spot. I think she could be there for a while, and I think that she'll end up in the middle of the pack this year too. Um, and
Hmm.
surprise us actually with a few. I think she'll get a few upsets too because she came really close
Hmm.
this past year against Tennessee. Somebody else that she upset or came close to upsetting. I think they actually did beat Tennessee. They did beat Tennessee, but they got close in a couple other games too. Memphis,
Hmm.
South Carolina. But yeah, they gonna make some noise for sure. Cause Johnny getting
Hmm.
them right.
She getting it right. And shout out to they recruited a top player out of Alabama. She went to Hewitt Trustville High School, Jordan Hunter. And
Okay.
she's a nice freshman for them, been getting some playing time, does well when she
Okay.
gets in the game too. So like I said, I like what they're doing.
That's
They
not a
put
post
together.
player, is it?
No, she's a guard. She's a guard.
Because they have a post player too. I want to say her name is Naomi or something. She played AAU with my goddaughter Kennedy. I don't even
Okay.
know if she's still on the roster, actually. Oops, never mind. I don't see her on the roster. Yes, I do. Maya, that was her name. Big post player.
Where is she from?
She from Alabama. She is from Linden, Alabama. What high school?
Yeah, what high school?
I don't know. It was one
Okay.
of them Alabama schools. She played with the Stars. That's why.
Okay.
Big 6'5"
Okay.
post player. Because Johnny gonna develop them bigs.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Come on, y'all. Come
yeah.
on.
Shout out
I
to
know she
Johnny.
gonna.
It must be the money.
Hey, I know Coach Johnny probably still making that famous Johnny Mac for them players too.
Yeah, with that
Hey,
shrimp. Yeah, big
yes, I
money,
miss that.
Johnny.
I
Yeah.
miss that. But yeah, so if we talk about the top schools, so LSU, South Carolina, Texas, Tennessee, Oklahoma. Don't
Now, don't
sleep on
forget Ole
Vandy.
Miss.
Oh, Miss. Oh yeah, Coach Yo. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was getting to him. I was about to name
yeah.
him. Alabama looks good this year.
Do they?
Auburn. They do. They've been winning games. But I would probably give Auburn a slight edge over. So when you talk about that top eight, because I think like Alabama, then Vandy. Vandy has they have
Yeah,
a standout freshman and another player, so they got some
they
nice
come a
pieces over there
long
too.
way.
Yeah.
They
So the
want to be at the
SEC
bottom.
is gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to see Texas against Auburn, of course, Mississippi State when they play Texas and Auburn. I mean, it's gonna be some good games.
I can't
It's
wait. Oh, come on, January.
January 2nd, season opener. January 2nd.
Oh, it's up. We tuned in. We locked in. It's
Yeah.
gonna be good.
Yeah, and I want to shout out the men too. Mississippi State men's team. They upset Memphis. Memphis
Yeah,
was ranked. They've
Pitt
been
too.
looking good. Who?
Pitt. They upset Pitt when they were
Okay.
ranked. Actually, they didn't upset them. They blew them out like by
Mm,
30. It was rough. But I'm excited to see men's basketball. First of all, on the SEC side to
mm-hmm.
get back. You know what I'm saying? Like I never just thought it was just like, ooh, SEC on the men's side. But this year, yeah. But especially our men, Mississippi State men, like I think Chris Jans has done a good job of building a roster and instilling that tough, gritty Mississippi State kind of
Mm-hmm.
grind. That's their identity on the defensive side. And so to see it kind of play out in wins, I'm excited to see what they do, especially with the run that they had last year in the SEC tournament. I want to see that again and then some. And I want to see them advance in the tournament, not just be a bubble team
Yeah.
or, one of them play in games. Like, nah, they need to make some noise. That's the expectation now.
Yeah, for sure. And just like you said, on the men's side, the SEC is now one of the premier conferences. Probably the best conference right now is usually the Big 12 on the men's side. But I
Hmm.
mean, you have Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama,
Auburn,
uh,
sure.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
I think
Arkansas, since you got old guy over there, Caliparo,
Calipari. I don't
Calipari,
Calipari. Is it Calipari or Calipari?
John
Uh,
Calipari,
Calipari.
Paris.
I think but those four teams, Alabama, Auburn, Kentucky, and Tennessee, I think are all ranked in the top 10. Um,
Hmm.
and then I think Ole Miss is probably they're pretty solid. Texas, you know what I mean? Now that they're
Oh, actually, let me
ooh,
tell you all the SEC teams that are ranked in the top 25.
okay.
On
Let's
the
do it.
men's side, you got Tennessee at number one,
Mm-hmm.
Auburn at number two,
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky number four, Alabama six,
Mm-hmm.
Florida seven,
Forgot about Florida, yeah.
Texas A&M 12, Oklahoma 14, Ole Miss 17. Uh, and I think MSU should be 25. We were 25 then when we lost to somebody, we got knocked out. But
They'll be
how
ranked
many
after
teams was that?
they'll be
All
ranked.
those?
That's eight. They'll be ranked after the new rankings come out. But yeah, so that'll be like 9 teams ranked in the top 25.
Yeah, 9 out of 16. That's tough.
And
Bad.
a sleeper team on the men's side of the SEC is Missouri because I saw how they played against my Jayhawks against Kansas, which is a former Big 12 rivalry when Mizzou was in the Big 12. But man, they look good over there. They looking good. That's a sleeper team. Nice, scrappy. They
Ah.
play scrappy. They play hard.
Mm,
Oh my gosh. But
that's good
yeah,
looking. Hey,
yeah.
I'm excited about basketball. Let me just say this. Whenever I do hang up my whistle from coaching, you better believe I'm going to be at all kind of games, college,
Mm,
pro. I just enjoy the game. I didn't
mhm.
just it's entertaining to watch, man. I want a partner that likes to go to professional games and just enjoys sports, man. I need that. I need that.
Okay, my sister, she just shot her shot. So, guys, any of y'all watching that's looking for a woman that enjoy basketball, that y'all enjoy
Or
basketball,
sports, football,
sports,
man.
whatever,
Oh, look,
she
hockey.
just
Let's do it.
she just kind of gave y'all the assist now. But you gotta come correct when you come now.
That's right. That's right. Do you love the Lord?
Hey,
Have something going for yourself. But anyway, I digress.
for sure, for sure. Well, Foster, I appreciate you for coming on the show with me. It's been a pleasure. We dropped a lot of gems. I mean, this was a dope episode. I think people really gonna enjoy this one. So Let everybody know how they can keep up with the team, maybe catch some games. No, okay.
No, I'm kidding. I
Okay.
mean, hey, it's rough, but come on, enjoy this journey with me. I know God is going to do a good thing and a new thing. And so we're on Max Preps, but more so on SB Live. It's an app that we use in Mississippi to keep up with everything. We're also on social media on Instagram at Lady Mustangs .mhs. And we're on Twitter as well, but more so on Instagram. But we're on Twitter at Lady Mustangs _MHS. Um, I'm on Facebook. I have not been on social media for several months now, but my page is connected to our Instagram. So whenever things are posted there, they end up on my page. But let's connect. Y'all find me on Facebook at Candace Foster. Um, hey, pray for us. You think about us, pray for us, and pray, guys, we'll be done in this program.
Amen. Wish y'all the best the rest of the way. This has been another episode of Sports Minded. I'm your host, Brittany Young. Until next time, y'all be blessed. We out of here.
Peace. Thanks, Britt.